My name is Lucas.
I'm Júlia.
Tell me about your other hobbies. What else do you do? Maybe some sports or...
Well, I played basketball for 8 years.
Is it a common thing for people in Japan to actually play basketball?
Yes, it's very popular. Like basketball, baseball.
I was thinking that maybe women tend to play piano a lot, but I don't see a lot of Japanese guys playing piano.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah, I know many.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm wrong, maybe.
And they're so good.
But maybe because usually I see women playing piano.
Yeah.
But could you tell us about the difference that you notice in Japan? Something that, some social activity that only women do and men don't?
Well, baseball is
Baseball.
like male sports.
Right?
And
Yeah,
girls,
cute.
yeah, cute. And girls usually do like softball. It's similar with baseball, but for women. It's
Softball?
different, yeah, like the way they throw the ball. But it's like 90% the same.
Do you miss some food from Japan? Or do you think you actually were not into Japan's food so much because your family were Brazilian? How does this work for you?
Well, I love Japanese food. But Japanese school is full-time. So we had lunch at school. And so I used to eat Japanese food every day.
Did your mom do those bento thing or maybe not?
She made bentos for me on high school for
Okay.
2 years.
This is just common in high school or is this something that you do?
In high school. In school, we can choose if you want to have lunch at school.
What's actually interesting about having a bento with you?
Well, in Japan, I think character bento is very interesting because you can make character with rice balls, nori. I don't know how to say nori.
Nori?
Like
I don't even...
seaweed.
Yes, seaweed.
It's
Probably.
dried seaweed.
Yes.
And it's cute.
It's just cute.
Just cute.
Just kawaii. Kawaii desu ne.
And like in comparing to Brazil, like no offense, I think Japanese food has more variation
Variation.
of food. Like in Brazil, in any restaurant I go, they have like rice, beans, meat,
Rice and
French
beans.
fries, salad, tomato. Sometimes lasagna.
So can you tell us like 5 foods that you like in, back in Japan or just Japanese food in general that you enjoy?
I love udon and katsudon.
Mm.
It's not healthy. Udon is a noodle. It's good on winter when it's snowing outside. You just
Because in Japan we have snow, guys.
yes, we have 4 seasons.
That's interesting.
I like unaju,
What is it?
unagi.
Unagi.
It's expensive,
Can you
but
explain to them what is unagi?
it's like an eel. If you go to Japan, you must try the unaju from Narita Sando. They kill the eel at that time. So
Wow. Júlia no osusume.
it's my osusume.
Any other foods that you would like to share?
White rice, just rice. No, I don't enjoy Brazilian rice.
You don't like it?
No, it's dry compared to Japanese.
Okay. It's dry.
Yeah,
Did you eat here in Japanese?
yeah. I went to in National. It was the best.
It was-
Yeah, for me, after trying, I tried Japanese original sushi, so it was not the same. But in Brazil, I've tried many sushi restaurants in Brazil, but this Harmony in National was the best.
What do you think is very different from Japan? Maybe is it fish that's not fresh, or maybe something that you...
Well, I think Brazilian sushi has many things on it. In Japan, we eat like it's just rice, wasabi, and the fish.
Okay.
But here, like 90% of restaurants put like cream cheese, nuts, and I don't know, is it pimenta biquinho? That
Kimchi.
little red.
Spice?
No,
But
it's not spicy,
Yes.
but it gives a little taste.
But that's not common in Japan.
It's just people in Brazil put too much things on sushi.
And Japanese people are more minimalistic.
Yes, they appreciate the food itself, like their own flavors,
And kind of,
aroma.
do you think Brazilian flavors are a little strong?
Yes.
Because
You can't feel the fish. When you put the sushi in your mouth, you'll be like, okay, what's the fish? I can only feel the cream cheese. So
different.
it's different,
Brazilian,
but yeah,
it's not a Japanese one.
It's
Good.
good.
It's good. The restaurant is approved. If you could magically change one thing in your life, what would it be?
My bank account. I want to live in Scotland. It's my dream to live in Scotland.
Why do you want to live in Scotland?
I love Outlander.
Like seriously, like fun, partying all night. Is that what you said? No.
No.
I have no idea what Outlander. What is Outlander?
Well, a British woman went to Edinburgh, I guess. She went to Scotland with her husband for honeymoon, and she accidentally went back on time. It's a series.
Series.
You can watch on Netflix.
We are kind of close.
Yeah.
I almost get tips. Just kidding. What do you believe in? Do you have a faith, religion?
No, I don't.
Okay. You don't believe in anything?
Well, I
No, maybe you don't believe. There's no problem. But you know, maybe you were an atheist. Did you consider yourself an atheist? Maybe.
kind of.
What about your family? Do they have any belief?
Well, my parents, my mom is a Catholic, she's Christian, and my brother just don't care about.
Who would you want as a dinner guest given the choice? You were talking about Billie Eilish. I just presumed that you would choose her. Maybe. No?
Yeah, but I'll be so nervous in front of her, so I don't think I will be able to speak. Dwayne Johnson?
Okay. Who is it?
Really? He's my favorite actor. Have you ever watched Jumanji?
Yes.
The first movie?
Uh-huh.
No, he's not in the first movie. He's the second and the second.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Oh my god. Did you watch Jumanji?
Yeah.
Do you mean that old movie?
I love Jumanji.
That's interesting because I thought Jumanji was like something from my kind of.
I also
Childhood.
love Back to the Future.
Oh.
Titanic.
Mhm.
Classic.
What would you like to talk about in this dinner?
Acting career.
Do you want to be an actor?
Well, since I was 13 years old, it's my dream to play Eponine from this. Is there this?
Oh my god, that's epic.
I want to take part on a musical. She gave up on her love to make Cosette happy. So if I could play her at least once in my life, I can do it.
We talk about Japan being a place where people are most prone to be. It's common for people to give up their own pursuits and their own dreams, or maybe they just follow the trend. Or at least this is the stereotype that we hear about Japan. What do you think about it? Do you see like, because what I'm referring to is, for example, some Japanese men that I've followed over Instagram or social media and stuff, they're really into fashion. Sometimes I'm into fashion, sometimes I'm not, but I'm not as them, for sure.
Well, this is my opinion, so you don't have to agree.
But you have to respect.
Yeah, please. But in Japan, like as you said, people who do fashion, like makeup, those art things are considered different. Because many people just want to be just a salaryman or just a teacher.
Just regular people,
Yeah.
they don't want to stand out.
Yeah.
Shoganai janai, like just go with the flow and
like everyone's doing, so I'm gonna do it too.
like why change? Because I'm very idealistic. I change everything wherever I go. So I just go for the change.
I particularly love to speak up and express myself.
Probably. Yeah, because since we met, she's doing this YouTube video. So probably she's into
I
that.
like to share my stories and people's stories too sometimes.
Your desire to go abroad, Japan, and all of that.
Yeah, I always wanted to see the world and leave the country.
But are the Japanese people like yourself? How do they differ?
But my friends were like, what are you gonna do with that?
Why?
Just stay here and get
A job.
a job and have a normal life. And I was like, I don't want to live. I don't want to live a normal life.
それはちょっと
ちょっと無理です。私じゃない。That's not me.
Because if I'm maybe wrong, okay, you can correct me if you want. But like the differences between people are not celebrated, and this is the song back in Japan, and this is the first song that made it into a popular song in which differences were celebrated and people felt like being unique was special. I'm gonna just show you the song.
Wait. 世界に一つだけ SMAP?
Yes! This is the song.
Yeah. Like you are the only flower in the world. You don't have to be the same with everyone.
Yes. I was not remembering the lyrics. I've heard this song so many times.
Like each of you have your own gift, so you don't have to be afraid.
Differences, are they celebrated? Do Japanese people think of it?
Well, people in my age, so I think people my generation are starting to express more their selves. But when you watch like, TV in Japan, you get only old people who's famous since like the 70s, 80s. Like you don't see like people on their 30s, 40s, 50s. They are all in like their no lives.
What about being hafu? What do you perceive nowadays? Because you're half Japanese, and that's probably a different experience as if you were, like me, a foreigner. Tell us about your experience being hafu. Miss Pageant,
Yeah.
see it. So she was hafu, Ariana Miyamoto Ariana. It's been years since it happened. She was talking about her difficulties as being hafu, as not being accepted, especially in the Tokyo area. Maybe this is different in more rural areas of Japan. She was more accepted. Did you have any hardships, difficulties growing up as hafu?
It's not a good story, but when I was like 6, 7 years old, many girls, especially girls, they kind of bullied me because I couldn't speak Japanese the way they did. And so girls from my classroom, they kind of made fun of me. They were like, why can't you speak Japanese? Like, you live in Japan,
You look like a Japanese.
I didn't understand what they were saying about me, but I could like catch the vibe.
Feelings?
Yes. And then after that, I experienced the tsunami in Japan, and I came back to Brazil for like 6 months, and then going back, they were like, "Oh my God, you're back! I'm so happy!" And I was like, "What the? Why are they? Why they like that?
Like,
They didn't like me."
which grade were you? Which grade?
In the first grade of elementary school. That never happened again. So now my friends, some of them still me. they're jealous.
Yeah, probably.
But after high school, well, I told Luca yesterday about it, but I studied English high school. Many people like movies, American movies, Disney Channel movies and series. There were many people who grew up out in other countries. So I was like, I felt more accepted, like as a foreigner.
Because probably you dealt with not belonging anywhere, probably. Did you feel like that?
Japan, I don't look like a Japanese, and in Brazil, I don't look like a Brazilian. So it's hard to find my identity. In Japan, they were like, "Oh, you're Brazilian, right? You're from outside of Japan." But in Brazil, people are like, "Oh, you're Japanese. You're from Japan." And I was like, "Okay, where I'm from?" It was very hard for me. And I identify myself as a Japanese because, of course, I grew up in Japan. I'm more familiar with the Japanese culture and their food, those things.
Mm-hmm.
But in my passport, I'm a Brazilian. So.
Se você tá curtindo a entrevista com a Júlia, deixe o seu like e se inscreva no canal agora, porque é para não perder nada. Ative as notificações em todos, para que você receba todo o conteúdo.